Germany thought the Iran conflict was far away. Now, intelligence officials warn the battlefield may already be inside Europe. From biker gangs to bomb plots, shadows are moving beneath Berlin's calm public messaging. And when security agencies whisper about 50 active threats, the question becomes, what exactly is Germany not saying out loud? German intelligence officials have privately warned that the threat of Iran-linked attacks inside Germany is significantly more serious than the government has publicly acknowledged. According to the New York Times, senior German intelligence and security officials have been urging political leaders to issue stronger public warnings amid fears of sabotage, bombings, and proxy attacks connected to Iran. The concerns have reportedly intensified since Germany provided logistical support to US operations in the Middle East, including allowing the use of American military bases on German territory. While Chancellor Friedrich Merz has acknowledged possible threats, Berlin has publicly downplayed the level of danger. Earlier, in a speech on March 12th, Merz stated,
Government officials had beefed up security measures around Israeli, Jewish, and American institutions in Germany to guard against possible attacks. At present, there is no information suggesting that we should assume an increased threat level domestically.
However, intelligence officials cited by the New York Times say the threat picture is far more concrete. The report states that European intelligence agencies identified roughly 50 suspected Iran-linked plots operating in Germany even before the current conflict escalated. German officials believe many of Iran's primary targets are Jewish institutions, with at least 2 believed to be under active threat. The Interior Ministry also acknowledged that evidence of Iranian-linked activity inside Germany has increased during the conflict. But in a statement, a spokesman, Leonard Kaminsky, acknowledged that in the course of the war, evidence of Iranian plots in Germany has increased. According to the report, German investigators are examining whether Iranian proxies were behind an attack last month on an Israeli restaurant in Munich, where assailants smashed windows and threw explosive devices into the building. No casualties were reported. The newspaper also says German intelligence has identified growing cooperation between Iranian operatives and organized crime networks, including biker gangs and human traffickers. Officials believe Tehran increasingly relies on proxy actors rather than direct operatives, mirroring tactics often associated with Russian intelligence services. A spokesperson for Chancellor Merz, Stefan Cornelius, denied any divide between politicians and intelligence agencies, telling the New York Times,
There was no daylight among intelligence officials about the severity and handling of the Iranian threat. The Chancellor's office did not talk publicly about specific threats or targets. There is unanimity in detecting and targeting the threats to keep them under control.
The report also alleges that Iranian intelligence officers infiltrated a major anti-government protest in Munich earlier this year, where they allegedly threatened and assaulted demonstrators by referencing relatives still living inside Iran. The revelations underscore mounting fears across Europe that the conflict surrounding Iran is increasingly spilling beyond the Middle East and into the European security landscape through cyber operations, sabotage networks, and covert proxy activity. The Holocaust funded the bomb that now threatens the Middle East. What if one of the most secretive nuclear programs in modern history was not only built in silence, but financed in secrecy as well? A new report is now raising a profound question. Who really paid for Israel's nuclear ambitions? Since the exposure of the Dimona nuclear reactor in Israel's Negev desert in December 1960, the country's nuclear program has been the subject of extensive research, books, and investigative reporting. Yet, despite decades of scrutiny, two key questions have remained unresolved: how much the project cost and who financed it. According to a report by the Israeli daily Haaretz, West Germany may have played a far greater financial role than previously understood. The report claims that between 1961 and 1973, the government in Bonn transferred between 140 and 160 million German marks annually to Israel through a covert loan mechanism. In total, the funding is estimated at nearly 2 billion marks, equivalent to around 5 billion euros today. A repayment agreement signed in 1989 reportedly transformed the loan into what was effectively a grant. If accurate, this would suggest that a substantial portion of Israel's nuclear project was financed not by domestic sources or private donors, but by German public funds. The origins of this arrangement trace back to 1957, when Israel and France maintained close ties following the Sinai War. France agreed to assist Israel in acquiring a nuclear reactor. However, then, Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion remained concerned about long-term security threats, particularly from Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser, and the rise of pan-Arab nationalism. Seeking additional backing, Ben-Gurion turned to West Germany, led by Chancellor Konrad Adenauer, whose government viewed support for Israel as both a moral obligation following the Holocaust and a strategic interest. A pivotal moment came in July 1957, during a secret meeting in Bonn between Shimon Peres, then Director General of Israel's Defense Ministry, and West German Defense Minister Franz Josef Strauss. Both sides had strong incentives to keep their cooperation hidden. Israel feared domestic backlash, while Germany was wary of damaging its standing in the Arab world. Their discussions laid the groundwork for expanding ties beyond earlier reparations agreements, including defense cooperation and financial support. The breakthrough came in March 1960, when Ben-Gurion and Adenauer met in New York. While the meeting itself was public, its substance remained undisclosed for years. It is widely regarded as a turning point in Israeli-German security relations. The financial arrangement that followed was reportedly disguised as aid for Negev development under the codename Action Geschäftsfreund, or Operation Business Friend. Under this mechanism, Israel was to receive $50 million annually for 10 years at a fixed interest rate. Due to the need for secrecy, no formal treaty was signed. Instead, funds were transferred as commercial-style loans through a state-owned development bank in Frankfurt, with official documentation masking their true purpose. Key German ministries approved the mechanism, while others were kept unaware. The arrangement became even more sensitive following the capture of Nazi official Adolf Eichmann in 1960 and his subsequent trial in Jerusalem, which raised concerns within West Germany about the exposure of former Nazi figures in government. Taken together, the account suggests that Israel's nuclear program at Dimona was supported not only by French technological assistance, but also by significant, covert financial backing from West Germany. While definitive proof linking the funds directly to the reactor remains elusive, the scale, secrecy, and structure of the financial transfers point to their critical role in enabling the project. If confirmed in full, these findings would reshape understanding of one of the most closely guarded programs in modern history, revealing a complex convergence of post-war guilt, geopolitical strategy, and clandestine diplomacy that helped define Israel's nuclear trajectory.